guys and gals, Nary here from Drake Wing Gaming, and something on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you with a Let's Play episode of Violet Memoir, Oscar's Path. Yep, we're back with a new update for Oscar, y'all, and a new update just dropped, and it covers Oscar's Path, so we've got plenty to get through with Oscar anyway. Alarm saying you are up, and let's go. Very excited to jump back into this. Okay. But my mind isn't able to keep up any further, and I can feel my consciousness rapidly fading, and all I can see is the empty expression he wore as he stared out at the waves. I'm lying down on a bed in a small room. It looks fancy, like a hotel, but there's something about it that looks off. Everything looks like it should be in pristine condition, but there's a layer of age on everything. Dust covers the windowsills, and there's a musty smell in the air. My body climbs itself up off the bed on its own. It's like it has a mind of its own, and there's a fog covering my brain, stopping it from taking it back. I'm just a spectator here. There's little in the hotel room I'm in. There's two queen-sized beds, a bedside table sitting next to each other, and a television mounted on the wall. A thick layer of dust covers everything, and it doesn't look like the bed has been used in months. A musty odor makes the air almost suffocating, but I don't have mind to think about that as I walk towards one of the two doors that looks to lead out of the room, and if the peephole in the door is any indication, I have to assume the other one leads to the ensuite. The door makes a loud creak as it opens. The sound reverberates throughout the corridor. This place sounds well and truly abandoned. Not that I know where this place even is. The hallway looks just as fancy as the room itself, though it looks even more worn down. What should be a plush carpet feels coarse under my feet, and most of its color has faded away. I didn't notice it before, but it's hard to keep my balance. It's like gravity keeps shifting, and I'm forced to adjust myself just to keep my footing. It's hard to tell if that's something to do with where I am or if it's just me. My body already feels out of its own control, and this might be a coincidence. This might be a consequence of that. It truly feels like I'm just watching a dream. Before I can think too deeply about it, I've walked to a different area. It's another hallway, but there's significantly less doors in this area. In fact, this area looks almost empty. I don't know how I got here so fast. It's like I blinked and I was here. Even trying to think about what just happened causes my head to draw a blank. Like there's an empty slot in my memory. With a few more steps, I come to an intersection. There's a door in front of me, but it doesn't look to be where we're going as I turn down the other path. But this way only leads to another door, except this one looks completely different from the rest of them. It's entirely made of metal, and there's a large valve on it. Next thing I know, I'm standing right in front of it, and there's a heavy weight that comes over me. There's something behind this door that I don't want to see. It's like being underwater, unable to breathe with limited movement to save myself. I try to force myself to move, to reach over and turn the valve, or to just walk away. But I can't move. Not with all this weight on me. The door in front of me looks like it's been recently cleaned, but something in my head is telling me it hasn't been opened in a long time. There's a window at the time, but looking through it doesn't help me figure out what's on the other side. The window must be fogged up, except the surface looks clear somehow. I swear I can see something on the other side. It looks blue and seems to be glowing, but it's impossible to make out any of the details, but something about it feels familiar and eerie. I'm not able to ponder that thought very long as the ground lurches and I have to steady myself once again. This feels different than before, as a loud crash echoes from far down the hall. Then silence. Until my ears pick up something in the distance, but I can't quite make it out. It sounds like rushing water? The sound grows to a roar, and I'm still unable to move. It takes seconds before it arrives. The water crashes around the corner and floods towards me within moments, and I jolt awake, tossing off whatever's weighing me down to sit up, frantically looking around my room, trying to find the water I just seen. But there is no water. It's just my room, looking the exact same as it did last night, except now my blankets are in a pile at the end of the bed. That's going to take a bit to fix, but I don't care right now. I just let out a sigh of relief and fall back onto my pillow. It was just a dream. It felt surreal, but it was just a dream. I mean, of course it was a dream. The signs were all there. I couldn't remember why I got there, and I couldn't even control myself. It was like a lucid dream where I couldn't control myself, and it reminded me a lot of those dreams I've been having recently. Was this related to them as well? Couldn't tell. I look around my empty room, and I'm unable to stop a feeling of deep loneliness from overwhelming me. I curl up until my knees are pressed against my chest and press my face between them. Everything's gotten so weird lately that I can't tell if my dream's just a dream or if it's something else. Maybe I should bring this up with Oscar. He might have some advice. But as soon as I think about Oscar, I remember the mess that happened yesterday. Everything had gotten so out of hand, and even if we managed to solve it with someone's help, it was still a lot. I don't know where me and Oscar really stand right now. We talked things out, but he still looks uncomfortable around me, and I don't know what's going to happen now. I wish Marcus was here. He'd know what to do. No, stop that. I can't think like that. I can't. It's not fair on me. Not with everything else going on. And with what's happening with Oscar. I have to wonder, though. I wonder if Marcus would have liked him. Then again, how could you not like him? I know he gets on Lee and Lucas's nerve, but I think even then they're coming around to him. Though, I might have just ruined that. No, that isn't fair either. I can't just give up. I can't just give up because there was a little adversary, right? A little adversity, you mean? Okay. Alright, 1 second, y'all. It is water time. Alright, guys and gals, and we are back. Let's jump back into it, shall we? Okay. Mom used to always say that if things ever got hard, I always had people to rely on, even if I didn't think so. I have to make sure I remember that. Oscar and I might have gone through some things, but we've gotten on the right track. Mostly thanks to Selwyn. I really need to call him and see how everything went. Pulling myself out of my cocoon, I managed to calm down somewhat. The dream is still fresh in my mind, but there's a dullness to the impact. Honestly, it feels silly how I was acting. Of course, I had a nightmare about flooding after what Oscar and I went through in the hospital, wherever that was. Everything that happened last night just making things worse. With a sigh, I pull out my phone to check the time. I know it's still the weekend, and I didn't exactly have any plans. It's a little past 8 in the morning. After everything that happened last night, I'm surprised I got as good of a sleep as I did. But then again, I was pretty exhausted, so it made sense in a way. It's not too surprising to see a message from Lucas this morning, but I am a little shocked to see from Lily. I guess with everything that happened, we made her worry. Lucas's message is just a simple checkup, making sure I was doing okay. Though he did accidentally let it slip that he sent a message to Oscar, too. I can only imagine what his reaction to all of it is. He's probably got a massive smile on his face. Can't wait to tease Lucas about it later. I'll probably have front row seats to that. The other message from Lily is much more intriguing. Hey, Lucas. Hey, Lucas messaged me yesterday telling me everything. I hope you're doing okay. He thought that maybe we could get together for lunch and see how your things are going. You should let him know. Oh, yeah, I totally forgot. Lucas mentioned he was going to try and get everything together today. Now that I think about it, this is the first time Lucas has tried contacting us at all, isn't it? It's hard for that not to bring a smile to my face. Despite all the circumstances around it, I know it's mostly because he's worried, but I like to imagine it's also because he's warming up to us. Reopening my messages to Lucas, his message takes a whole different meaning now that I take that into account. Good morning. I hope you had a good rest. You didn't look good yesterday. I'll figure out some way to cheer you up, I promise. This must have been the way he was alluding to. That's really nice. I'd hate to just hide away in my room today, locked in my head just thinking over what went wrong yesterday. I message him back, hoping that I'm not interrupting a nap of some kind. With him and Lily messaged me around 7, so I assume they're both still up. Hey, I just saw your message. I'm doing better, but I'm a little worried about Oscar. Yesterday really hit him hard. Were you able to get everyone together? I thought I'd have to wait long for a reply, but it's barely a minute before my phone rings again. I'd barely been able to find some new pants, let alone anything else. I've already talked to Lee and Lily. They both said yes, but I haven't messaged Oscar yet. I wasn't sure if it was a good idea to bother him. What do you think? That makes sense. Whatever Oscar went through last night, it was pretty intense. I'd have refused, but I can see why Lucas is worried. I'll ask him. I've been meaning to call him anyway. Just let me know the details. This time I'm able to dash around my room and get my pants on before Lucas can get back to me, but I'm caught in the middle of putting on a shirt. Lily suggested meeting up for lunch, so I thought we should meet around midday. I thought we could go to that bar Oscar likes. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but maybe it would make him more comfortable. I think he'd appreciate that a lot. I know you're worried about him, but even if I ask him, I still think he'd like to hear from you. I suppose. I'll think about it. And that was it. I consider continuing our small talk, but I know if I do that, I'm just going to procrastinate messaging Oscar. I need to deal with that, or else it's going to be lunch before I know it. But I don't want him to message him yet, at least not directly. I have someone else I want to message first, though I wouldn't be surprised if Oscar reads them as well. I scroll through my contacts until I find a familiar name that I owe a lot to. Please don't be sleeping. I almost accidentally called the number before remembering that he wouldn't be able to talk back, probably. He did talk to me on the phone last night, but it sounded like a struggle. It was nice to hear his voice, but I wouldn't want to try to force that again. But for now, I'll have to settle for just texting him. Hey, Selwyn. How did things with Oscar go last night? I hope everything was okay. Unlike Lucas, there isn't an answer from Selwyn right away, so I get up to continue my morning routine of finding some clothes to wear and making sure I was fresh. I almost considered taking another shower despite taking one last night, just to unwind and try to de-stress. Too bad everything happened after my shower. Maybe I should just take another one anyway. My thoughts are interrupted by my phone ringing again. I'm glad I had a long rest, even my dreams weren't entirely pleasant, or else I'd probably have an awful headache right now. It's a reply from Selwyn. Oscar's good, I think, anyway. He was quiet all night, but he didn't look upset when he went to sleep. I think he misses you. Really? He didn't look too comfortable around me when we left. He's going through some stuff, but I think he wishes he could be around you. But I'm just guessing. We didn't talk about it. I think he just wanted to take his mind off things. Is he awake? Yeah, he's just taking a shower right now. We've only been up for a bit, but we got some exercise and some breakfast. Does he seem better? He's quieter than usual, but it's not too bad. He's smiling and joking around, but sometimes when he thinks I'm not watching, he's staring off into the distance. I'd considered asking him what he was thinking about, but I thought it would be best if you talked to him first. He's more likable to talk. He's more liable to talk to you about it. I guess I was the reason this mess happened, wasn't I? I don't think it's your fault. I don't think he blames you, if anything. I think you made things better in the end. You think? You sorted things out, right? He looked pretty happy with things. He was just tired. A drop of water drips onto my screen, and I realize that I've started to cry. I quickly wipe my face and take a deep breath, trying my hardest to keep my composure. Thank you. I've been worried I messed things up. You shouldn't worry so much. Oscar cares about you a lot, even if it's confusing for him. He wouldn't abandon you, and if he tried, I wouldn't let him. Not anymore. Selwyn, I don't know what I'd do without you, what we would do. You're both great guys. You just need a little help sometimes. I know I need it too. I'm just lucky to have a lot of friends. I haven't said it enough, but I really want to thank you for yesterday. If it wasn't for you, I don't know how everything would have turned out. I'm confident you would have figured it out. I believe in you. Alright, y'all, I'm going to pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Before I go, I'm going to give a quick shout out to all of our lovely patrons. Thank y'all for all you do for the channel. I greatly appreciate all your support. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!